asking questions does not mean that you are challenging someone. Ayurvedic comprehension of the presenter is wrong. So don't take it in other sense. Micro and macro trauma like accidents and overstrain, etc. will be causing Vada Prakopa and Rakta Dushti or Rakta Prakopa, which is mentioned, which irrespective of the subject it will develop. That is not correct. It is not like Abhigada if happens, Vada and Rakta should get aggravated. It is not like that. It is not from Nidanas you have to identify the dosha. It is from the response. Abhigada is the karma and phala is based on the status or state and stage of the subject. Phagocytes are not RBCs. They are not Rakta Varna or Rakta. So inflammation is not Rakta Vritti or Rakta Dushti. There is increased blood flow to that region and WBCs are moving out along with protein-rich fluid, not blood. And also inflammation is not Avarna. So the treatment principle of Vata and Lomana is not applicable. So the treatment principle which is applied there, Rakta Shodhana or Rakta Prasadana and Vata and Lomana are wrong. So you need to be a critic. So why and how this is wrong, why and how this is correct. So you should be able to convince yourself. For that you should ask questions. Namaste. I have come to this video to tell about the relevance of asking questions in the learning process of Ayurvedic Shastra. In Shastra it is mentioned as Patha Avabodha Anushtaner Avagachatyadu Dhruvam. So, three things are needed to practice the Shastra Arthas. First is Patha, learning the Shastra, which are mentioned as Shlokas or Sutras. Avabodha, understanding what is being percepted or the knowledge you have gained. It should be converted. It should undergo certain processing, and finally it should be converted to your intelligence. Uho vicharascha tadaparam buddhi pravartade. So you need to be a critic. So why and how this is wrong, why and how this is correct. So you should be able to convince yourself. For that you should ask questions. So asking questions and getting it convinced is the method to get avabodha or converting it into your intelligence, and later that intelligence or wisdom should be utilized in your practice. So this is the method to be adopted, Patha Avabodha Anushtane. For that you need to make questions for yourself or from whom you are learning. I am happy that Government Ayurveda College, Kannur has initiated or launched a program titled Nirnaya to diagnose certain disease conditions and diseases, and its treatment principle are also explained in that program. But the outcome should be, the audience should be able to get that intelligence, or avabodha should happen in the audience also, so that it can be converted in their practice also. For that, asking questions is mandatory. So that part was not done in the program. So asking questions does not mean that you are challenging someone, or when the questions are unanswered, when the questions are not properly answered, the audience may feel that presenter is being challenged, but it is not the fact. It is for their avabodha, for the audience to comprehend fully and to convert it to their practice. The questions are asked. So this video depicts on how the questions raised based on the presenter of that presentation of pyriformis syndrome is apt. That's what I'm going to explain today or in this video. In that conclusion part, Ayurvedic perspective is mentioned, Ayurvedic pathophysiology, treatment principle, and certain medicines are mentioned. And the questions raised on that and the substantiating points which I am going to give elucidate that Ayurvedic comprehension of the presenter is wrong. So don't take it in other sense. So the presenter can substantiate in the other way also, but with scientific base or with scientific justification. I am telling that these questions raised are apt, and it proves that the comprehension of the presenter is wrong of piriformis syndrome. It starts with micro and macro trauma. So there is Vata Kopa and Rakta Dushti. So micro and macro trauma like accidents and overstrain, etc., will be causing Vata Prakopa and Rakta Dushti or Rakta Prakopa, which is mentioned, which irrespective of the subject it will develop. That is not correct. As trauma can cause Prana Dushti, Prano Raukshya Vyayama Lankanehi Atyahara Abhikhada Atva Vega Udirana Tharanehi. So Prana Dushti can happen. Vata Prakopa can happen. Rakta Dushti alone can happen. Abhikhada Dashuddhesh Chandranam Asraji Dushide. It can cause Vata Rakta Dushti together, as in Abhikhada Jajwara or Vata Shonita. It can cause Pitta Prakopa also, as mentioned in Abhighata Shobha. So, Shastradi Kshada Cheda Pheda Shastradi Pheda Cheda Kshadadi Pihi Himanila Udatyaner Pallada Kabigachudir Rese Shukesha Shoitu Syat Visarpavan. There, Abhighata is causing Shobha, but it is of Pythic nature, Visarpavan, Prishoshma. It will be having very high temperature on that swelling. Prishoshma Lohida Bhasa, Prayasha Pitta Lakshana. So it can cause Pitta Dushti also, this Abhighata. And Chardhyama Santharana Karshanani Hridroga Kartrini Tata Abhighata. So Abhighata can produce Hridroga. And in Gulma Nidana, Vege Rudirne Vihate Rathova. Bahyabhikhade Atipedanerva, Vicheshtiterva, Vishamadimatre, Koshte Prakopam Samupaidi Vayuhu. It can cause Prakopa of Vayu in Koshta, or Samana dysfunction it can cause. Or so it can cause Ojo Visramsa, Abhikhadat Kshayat Kopad, Shokat Thyana Sramat Chutaha. So Tejas Samiridam Visramsatyatu Dehinaha. Ojo Visramsa happens because of Abhighata. And Srama or overstrain is micro trauma. That can also cause Ojakshaya. Ojakshayate Kopakshuk Thyana Shoka Shramadipihi. So it is not like Abhighata, if happens, Vata and Rakta should get aggravated. It is not like that. So Vata can get aggravated, Rakta can get aggravated, Pitta can get aggravated. It can result in Hridroga or Gulma, or it can result in Rikta Srotas. Rikta Srotas is mentioned in Vada Vyadhi. So, Amad Abhikhadat Abhojanat Marma Badhat Gajoshtra Shikra Yana Apatamsanat Dehe Srotamsi Riktani. So these causes will cause Rikta Srotas. Rikta Srotas means there is a degenerative, destructive change in the Srotas, which paves for Sthana Samsaya of Vata, Puretva Anilo Beli. So that can result in Vada Vyadhis. So always it need not produce Vada and Rakta. It depends on the state and stage of the subject. So Rogotpadago Hetur Nidana. So it is not from Nidanas you have to identify the dosha. It is from the response. So Abhighata is the karma and Phala is based on the status or state and stage of the subject. So subject will be responding sometimes with Pitta Prakopa, as in Abhighata Jashopa. Sometimes it may result in Hridroga, sometimes it may result in Rikta Srotas. So it is not mandatory that Vata and Rakta should get aggravated. So we have to find out the Nidana by Anumana only. After the development of Lakshanas or Roga, we have to find out that this might be the cause. So always Nidanas are identified with Anumana Pariksha. Now coming to the topic, it is mentioned as inflammation. Inflammation is happening, but inflammation is happening in the muscle piriformis. So muscle piriformis gets inflammation. Inflammation is body's immune response to remove something from the site. So phagocytes need to reach there. Phagocytes are not RBCs. They are not Rakta Varna or Rakta. So in the inflammatory process, there will be increased blood supply and slowing of blood flow in that region. When more and more blood reaches there, there will be slowing of blood flow, margination of WBCs. WBCs will be moving to the margin of the blood vessel, and WBCs will be moving out along with some protein-rich fluid, which is termed as exudate. So in exudate, there will be WBCs, phagocytic cells will be there. It will be removing the debris. So that is what inflammation is. So inflammation is not Rakta Vritti or Rakta Dushti. There is increased blood flow to that region, and WBCs are moving out along with protein-rich fluid, not blood. So there is no Rakta Vritti or Rakta Dushti. But the presenter says that it is Rakta Prakopa. So Sthanika Rakta Prakopa is taking place. There is no Rakta Dushti in the context of inflammation. So it need not be treated by Rakta Prasadana Dravyas, which is mentioned in the treatment principle, that it should be treated by Rakta Prasadana. When there is Rakta Dushti, there is Kleda Vritti, it has to be removed by Prasadana. And also inflammation is not Avarna. So the treatment principle of Vadanulomana is not applicable. As inflammation is protein-rich fluid exudate that is causing function loss or pain, irritation of nerve there is causing pain, and function loss is happening, that is causing the function loss. So Vatanulomana is not the treatment principle to be applied there. So it is not, inflammation is not Rakta Dushti or Rakta Vritti or Rakta Kopa, which is mentioned there. Rakta Kopa means Rakta is producing the disease. Just like dosha, when Rakta is set as Kopa, Pitta Kopa, Chaya, Prakopa, Prasara happens for doshas. When Rakta itself is producing a disease, Raktaja Roga, then it is said as Rakta Kopa. So the treatment principle which is applied there, Rakta Shodhana or Rakta Prasadana and Vatanulomana are wrong. Plus the medicines chosen are from Vata Rakta. So Rasne Erandadi. So Vata Rakta is entirely a different condition, though it is mentioned as Rakta Gata Vata Lakshanas are mentioned by the presenter, like Rujas Tivra Santapa, Vaivarnyam Krishada Aruchi, Gatrecha Arumshi, Bhuktasya Stambascha Asrgade Anile. So Rakta Gata Vata. So Vata gets getting vitiated and reaching Rakta is Rakta Gata Vata. Such features are mentioned, but there is no involvement of Rakta. So that inflammation is just what I told. Inflammation is not increased Rakta or Dushta Rakta or vitiated Rakta or Rakta Kopa that is happening. So the treatment principle of Rakta Gata Vada or Vata Rakta is not applicable. Vata Rakta is entirely different condition, like Vayu Vrittu Vrithena Raktena Avarita Pathi. So Vata gets vitiated by its own causes, Rakta gets vitiated by its own causes. So both are getting vitiated. There is Rakta Kopa or Rakta Dushti directly by Abhighada or Ashuddheshta Nranam Asriji Dushide, and Vata Prakopa is also happening, and Krishnam Sandushet Rakta. Vata Rakta is a Raktaja Roga. Though it is a Vada Vyadhi, it is Rakta predominant. Its predominance is manifesting as Krishnam Sandushet Raktam Tatnyayam Vada Shonidam. So it can be identified with skin manifestation. Kandu Spurana Nistoda Bheda Gaurava Suptada. Kandu manifest on Anga Santhishu, on skin of joints. There will be skin lesions. It is Kushta Samam. And Bhutva Pranashinti Punaravar Bhavandicha. So it will be on and off features. It will not be continuous features. Sorry. When it manifests, in Uttana stage, Kandvadi Samyuddha Uttane, these features will be continuous. So that is Uttana stage, and Gambhire Adhika Purvaruk. What is manifested in Uttana stage, it becomes more severe. So that is Gambhira stage. So it is purely a skin manifestation that manifests on joints, and it has got a entirely different course, and it is no way connected with the inflammation of mamsa, which is protein rich exudate with phagocytic cells reaching that site. And in the initial stage, Vata Rakta treatment is to be incorporated. That is what not directly mentioned, but Rakta Prasadana. Treatment principle of Vata Rakta is Kashajam Snehanam Guryat Echa Rakta Prasadanam, and there is no Avarana, so Vadana Lomana is not required. And the Kashaya mentioned is Rasne Erandadi Kashaya, so that is also not required. Directly we can identify that the inflammation or the pathogenesis is happening on the Mamsa Dhatu. So you can directly take it as Mamsagata Vata, because hypertrophy also can produce, or spasm can produce, or various changes in the muscle is developing. So it should be taken as Mamsagata Vata. Instead, it is taken as Vata Rakta, which is not at all related with that. Gurvangam Tudyade Atyartham Danda Mushti Hadam Yatha. So the pain that develops is as if hit with a rod or with fist. If somebody hits or beats, such sort of pain develops also. Saruk Shramidam Atyartham. So on exertion, there will be pain. Shramidam Atyartham, pain develops. Also Gurvangam, hypertrophy may develop. So it is a disease manifesting on the Mamsa. So you have to take it as Mamsa pathogenesis itself. And in the second stage, spasm may develop. Spasm is a symptom. So how will you identify whether it is Vatic spasm or Vata can produce spasm? Spasm is Sankocha, not Stambha. What is mentioned in the video is Stambha. It is mentioned as Stambha Gaurava Shulaknam. His Vedanam is mentioned. It is Sankocha, that contraction. It can be Ayama or Akshepa or Sankocha, which is happening. And how will you differentiate whether it is Rakta is producing Sankocha or Thamanyanguli Sandinam Sankochu, Angagrahu Atiruk is mentioned in Vadathika Vata Rakta. So how will you differentiate Rakta from Vata? The peculiarity of Raktaja Rogas, both Rakta Jayade plus Rakte Jayade. It manifests in Rakta as well as it is caused by Rakta. Rakta acts as dosha. So such diseases are termed as Raktaja Rogas, Raktaja Gulma or Raktaja Vidrathi, or this condition Vata Rakta. In all these conditions, the method of identifying Raktaja Rogas is Shitoshna Sniktha Rukshadye Rupakrantasya Ekadaha Samyak Sathya Na Sithyandi Rakta Janstan Viphaved. So Shitoshna Sniktha Rukshadye, Dosha Viparita treatment. So when Shita Dvesha is found, you are giving Ushna Viridravya's, Shita, Ushna, Sniktha Ruksha. When Snikthatva is seen, when Kandu is seen with Snikthatva, you are giving Rukshana treatment. But it will not respond. Sniktha Ruksha, Shitoshna, Sniktha Rukshadye, Rupakrandasya Egada, Samyak Satya Na Sithyandi. Those diseases are to be identified as Raktaja Roga. They are the only solution. If it is initiated by Rakta Dushti or Rakta Kopa, the treatment principle is Rakta Moksha. Rakta Moksha is mandatory in those conditions where Rakta Dushti is primary. If it is secondary, as in Raktagata Vada, it is not mandatory. Raktagata Vada is Vada getting vitiated and reaching Rakta to produce Rakta Dushti. But in other primary conditions, Vada Rakta, Rakta is the main dushi. Abhigata Ashuddhesya Nirnam Asraji Dushide. It is getting directly vitiated, not through dosha. So in such condition, Rakta Moksha is mandatory in conditions where Rakta Dushti is primary. And spasm is, such condition does not exist because in pyriformis syndrome, you need not do Rakta Moksha and the patients respond. So the spasm is Vatic. You can take it as Kandragata Vada or Snayugata Vada. So the only two participants, Snayu and Vata. There are no different dushyas like Santi is dushya and some other thing is dushya. You need to consider like that. So spasm, if it is producing, it is Snayugata Vada or Kandragata Vada. The treatment principle, Sneha Upanaha Agni Karma Bandhana Unmardanani. So Snehana is the treatment principle. Also Sweda, not Avagaha Sweda, it is Upanaha Sweda. There should be continuous Swedana, diaphoresis given to that area for 12 hours. Ratro Batham Diva Munche, Diva Batham Cha Ratro. So such type of Swedana or Ushna Vidya are to be applied in spasm and Rogarambhaga Dosha Pragopajanyo Anya Vikara. So Vatarakta producing another condition is Upadrava of Vatarakta. What is mentioned is second stage of this disease, spasm is to be managed. So if spasm develops in the second stage, it should be considered as Upadrava because Rogarambhaga Dosha Prakopajanyo, Vata or Rakta or Pata Rakta combined, producing various other conditions, Khanjya Pangulya, Kubjatvam, etc. of Vata or Visarpa, Paka, Daha, etc. features of Rakta or Vata Rakta combined Arbuda like features. All these are Upadravas of Vata Rakta. So medicines chosen here is Nimbamrudadi Eranda, which is Gugulu Tiktaga, which is Gugulu Tiktaga and Nimbamrudadi Eranda are having same ingredients. So it is mainly specified in Kushta Chikitsa or Vata Rakta Chikitsa. So such medicines are not to be incorporated because there is no Rakta involvement, there is no Rakta Prakopa, there is only inflammation. So inflammation is not Rakta Gopa, what I have just explained. And stretch exercises are also mentioned, which is not Ayurvedic treatment. Ayurvedic treatment for spasm, what I have mentioned is Tailam Sankuchite Apyango Marsha Sainthava Sathidam or Sneha Upanaha Agni Karma Bandhana Unmardanani. These are the treatment principles for spasm. So with these substantiating points, I would like to say that whenever something is to be confirmed or when you wanted to get convinced, these questions are to be asked and you should be able to substantiate those questions. And if those questions are not countered or not argued and the other person's points are not substantiated, that Patha Avabodha Anushtana will not happen or Shastrartha Karma Anushilana will not happen. So exploring Shastrarthas should be by asking questions and making confirmatory outputs is the indispensable thing in a learning process and in clinical practice. So take this in the very positive sense. Thank you very much.